Hey, what's up, dudes? Okay, if you remember back a few videos back, I had talked about some of the ammo that I used in my guns, and one of them that I could not use in the SIG 229 was the Hornady Critical Defense. I can use Powerball in it, and I've actually ordered some ammo on recommendation from a video that I saw that Howard up at the bunker did, and it's Federal Premium Law Enforcement Tactical, I believe. It's HST. They make it in 40 caliber as well, and it all goes off on what the projectile is shaped like, or the bullet is shaped like. Now, Hornady Critical Defense ammo has a real sharp cone that comes in. I don't have any trouble with that on the XD40. We don't have any trouble with that on the Glock, but this does not like it. It's the only ammo that's ever jammed in this, and I've shot a bunch of different kinds through it, but this pistol does not like it. But it'll feed the Powerball, and I've ordered, like I said, some of that Federal because it's shaped. It comes up and it rounds more. It doesn't have a sharp cone shape to it. So we may see if that works. But I got to thinking off of the last videos that I did with the 1911, the Rock Island, and how I refined it out. I wonder if there's just not a burr somewhere on this thing. Maybe the feed ramp or the upper part of the chamber throat needs to be polished. So I talked to a friend of mine that is a gunsmith. I said, hey, if I polish on this thing, will it hurt it? And he goes, no, won't hurt it. He said, just don't get overly aggressive with it. And I said, do you think it'll help? And he said, might. Said he's seen a few that act that way. He said polishing them out could help. He said it certainly won't hurt it. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm in kind of a polishing mood now. Got a new toy, not a new toy, but polishing up with a Dremel. So we're clear. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. What we're going to do. We're going to polish up the feed ramp and the upper part of the throat here, and right around the edge. Now it's already smooth, but it's not polished. So we're going to do that, and go ahead and hit the top of it a little bit too. And I'll tell you something else, guys. I don't know if I'm going to do this or not, but this is already starting to wear here big time. Now there's a lot of rounds through it, I understand. I said, but it's eventually going to wear off. I'm thinking seriously about just taking this all off too, and having it just one silver whack. It's really bad back here, but I don't know, I may not, but I am going to probably hit this again. But I'm going to polish this. Now I'm not going to get down on the insert block. I'm pretty sure that's not where the problem is, guys. I don't know. If it doesn't work, we may pull it back apart and hit that too. I'll let you know what we do with it. But that's what I think I'm going to do. And so with that, let's head to the shop. What's up, dudes? Okay. Now, I've already started here just a little bit. You can see where I've kind of started to polish up just a little bit here. Starting to get some shiny spot. And I think I found part of our problem. There is a raised spot on this feed ramp. Right here you can see where I've started to use a little bit of sandpaper. Now, sandpaper I'm using, guys, is 1000 grit. Probably could be a little bit smaller, but that's like an idiot. I thought I had some more 400, but I'm out. So this is all I have, or some 600 and I'm out, but that's all I have. But what we're gonna do is we're just kind of polishing this ramp a little bit, and then we're gonna use the Dremel tool and flitz to finish it up. Watching another channel, I had seen this tip from a guy whenever he was polishing part of it to hold the end of the sandpaper with a pencil eraser. Works great too, by the way. So, and you don't have to worry about trying to hold it with your finger. So again, we're just kind of going back and forth on it. We're not using a lot of pressure. We're just kind of removing more or less the finish on it, and then we'll hit it with the Dremel here in a little bit. But it has shown what looks to be a small high point in the feed ramp, and so that's what we're going to try to smooth out, and I'm hoping that will yield us a better result with that ammunition we were talking about earlier. but I'm just going to continue to do this. I'm not really going to sit here and make you guys watch me do this. This is going to take a while because this is very fine sandpaper. We're not changing the shape, not taking off any of it. We're just polishing it up. When I get it done with this and get ready to hit the Dremel, we'll be back. Alright guys, here we go. We're trying this out here. See this right here? See this raised area right here? You can kind of see where it's raised a little bit. This is what we're smoothing out. Okay? And hopefully this will show up okay on this camera, on macro. I'm still messing with it. It's kind of hard to get that sucker to focus. But anyway, I wanted to show you what we're taking out. We've almost got it. And when we get all that black line out, which is on the back side of that raised pump, then we're going to be good to go. Okay, let's get back to polishing this ramp here. Okay, back. We're almost done, dudes. And we're going to start hitting with the Dremel. I had a guy that made a comment. I usually don't bitch about this too much, but just block and roll. Take Bill's advice. But this little guy, he commented in on my last series. Y'all remember the ones that I did with the 1911, or that Rock Island Armory. He's like, hey, you don't know what you're doing. You're not a professional gunsmith. Somebody's going to try that and screw their gun up. It's going to be your fault. I hope you get sued. Okay, dude, here's the deal. Fuck you. All right? How many times in that did I say, guys, if you're not comfortable doing this, have a professional gunsmith do it? I had been trained, or I've been shown and taught how to do this by a professional gunsmith, so I feel comfortable doing it. If you don't do it. How many times did I say that? More times than I can count. You go to this little dipshit's channel and he's got a bunch of freaking PlayStation games from other people up. So he's another little troll. I blocked and rolled. I ain't worried about it. But it just amazes me. Doesn't matter how much you tell people, hey, look, you know, you're doing this under your own. I'm not advising you to do this. If you don't feel good doing it, don't do it. Doesn't matter what you do. You're always going to have some little queer bait run in with some bullshit like that. And they just piss you off. Imagine these guys with all these millions of subs and stuff, what they have to deal with. Okay, guys, that's looking pretty good. I think we're about ready to hit it with the Dremel. Let me get it set up, ready to rock and roll, and we'll go. Okay, guys, we're back. Now, what I've done, I've gone ahead and I put flits on it and around the edge, and I also went ahead and sanded a little bit on the underside of the hood here. So, smooth that out. It looked pretty smooth, but went ahead and hit it with the sandpaper too. Again, we're going to hit it with the foot. We're going to hit it with some flits and the polishing wheels. If we can't make it come to a high sheen, go from there. See what we get. Don't use a lot of pressure on it, just a little bit. Hitting the side of it a little bit too. Keep the damn wheel on it, we'll be all right. We're not changing the shape here, guys. We're not re-angling. Again, we're just polishing the side of the barrel, or the side of the throat of the chamber as well. Boy, that looks great. God, I hope this thing shows up good. I'm going to go ahead and polish the top of the barrel hood, or the chamber hood, just a little bit. Not going really down into the chamber. We're stopping right there, so we're not affecting anything. And hopefully this will fix our issue. Okay. Man, that looks great. That looks like freaking glass, man. Looks like a mirror. I'm gonna try to get this thing on macro and show you guys. We're gonna see what happens. Let me see if I can get this thing to focus up right. I'll be right back. All right, guys. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this or not, but I cannot seem to get my macro to focus worth a shit. But at any rate, this looking through the viewfinder of this camera is not doing it justice, but that thing just looks like a mirror. And that's what we're looking for right there. It looks like it's all smoothed out. We're going to go ahead and we're going to hit the side of the barrel throat just a little bit more, and we're going to go ahead and get up underneath the hood just a little bit more as well. And so once I get that done, I'll be back and we'll put her back together and see what we get. All right, guys. Talk to you. Oh, we're also going to hit this too. Talk to y'all in a bit. Okay, guys, we're back. Got it all back together. Polishing went great. It is empty. Hopefully, you can see down in there, because that thing looks like a mirror. That's just a beautiful, beautiful polish job on it. I thought top came out looking really good too. Now, if you remember, the reason that we were doing this is because this firearm, my 229, would not feed critical defense ammo. Talking to a good friend of mine who is a professionally trained gunsmith, I asked him about polishing the feed ramp and maybe the throat around the barrel a little bit. Would that help? And he said he has seen where there have been burrs or some raised marks. He said certainly isn't going to hurt it as long as you use a polishing wheel. So we did. We used a little bit of sandpaper to take some of the finish off, and we found a high spot on the feed ramp, if you'll remember. Well, we got that smoothed out. We polished it. It looks great. It looks like a mirror. So the ultimate test is, will it feed the ammo? The only way to know that is to put real ammo in it and feed it. So we are going to use live rounds. Now, I'm not going to fire them, but this is Hornady Critical Defense, and before, whenever you would try to feed this, it would get to about here on some of them and jam. This is the only ammo that ever made this firearm jam, ever, at least my particular SIG. And I didn't like it, that's why I didn't use it, or I don't use it. Now, the way I test that, and the way that I've always been able to find, is whenever you're testing ammo or testing for a feed problem, you don't bring it back and just kind of let it go real slow in, but you do what I call a control slide lock. You just don't, you don't just bring it back and let it slam forward. If it will feed smoothly like this, it's going to feed smoothly the rest of the time too. It's always been my experience with it to be that way. But like I said, the only way we're going to find out is to test it. So we're going to. Again, we're using live rounds. Do I recommend doing this? No, not necessarily, but it's the only way that we're going to know if it works. Usually you would do this outside of the range. Nobody's here. Nothing on the other side of this wall but brick. Plus I'll be pointing at the ground, so I'm going to be very, very cautious and very safe with it. But let's find out if our efforts paid off. So nobody have a hissy fit because I'm using live rounds here. I know, kind of got an idea of what I'm doing, guys. So let's find out if it worked. That last one was a regular round. And we're back to safe. Folks, I'd say that pretty much solved our feed problem so far. It fed 3, just like it does with the regular target ammo with no problem. Next step with that is to take it to the range and run a magazine through it and see what happens. And I'll do that when I fire the 1911 later this week. So let me know what you guys think. Seemed to have fixed the problem. And before, I didn't test it before, I just did this, but like I said, I've done it so many times, and whenever you would pull it and feed it, it would stop. I mean, you could actually pull it back and let it go, and it would do the same. It would jam sometimes. That felt smooth as anything else. So maybe we got our problem fixed. That's it, guys. That's all I got this time. Let me know what you think. All right, shoot safe. Later.